Okay, Macro Quad Part 3. Last time we got the motors and 4-in-1 ESC all soldered up along with the dual XT60 power inputs. This time we're going to be working on the rest of the electronics. Now apart from the motors and of course the carbon parts of the frame itself, everything is going to be recycled from old builds. The other parts we've assembled for this are a R9 receiver. This is either a Mini or an MM, I forget which one it is. We have a Runcam Robin because it's the least old of the micro format cameras I have. We've got a Matek VTX HV. These things are great. I've got 3 or 4 of these spare. The stupidly loud Matek MCU buzzers. I love these things. Just read the manual for how to wire it up. It doesn't just use the 2 wires on the regular buzz pads. And a GPS. I've got several of these. I think this is a Benchian BN880. It also has a compass, which I won't be using. I designed a quick kind of tail mount for the GPS and the SMA for the VTX. Looks a bit ugly underneath because it's printing on supports with that face flat, but the top looks nice enough. GPS will slot in with enough friction because the boards are quite square that it won't even need glue or anything to keep it in place. There we go. It has a very slight angle on it because I'm not expecting to be maintaining regular race quad speeds with this thing. I think I put 15 degrees in. Obviously there's a cutout for the connector there for the GPS. That then attaches to these 2 holes on the back of the top plate. So those are the holes for the standoffs, and then these are extra. And there's a similar thing at the front. These are the standoff holes at the corners, and then those are for mounting other random stuff too. Okay, there we go. Now we're not using the compass on this one, so I'm just going to take the I2C wires out. Flight controller is actually going in the position one in front of the center stack because with both of the XT60 connectors in place, it means I block access to the USB socket on both sides. We're going to put the bracket for the FPV camera on the front. There are some 2mm holes in sets of 3 at the front and at the rear and on the top plate as well, specifically for these standard micro cam mounting brackets. These are the cutest little Nylox M2. Now, do I have a nut driver that fits? Oh, I do. Okay, we've got our micro FPV camera brackets at the front. So camera at the front there, then the FC, then the 4-in-1, and then we're going to have VTX probably in this position here. Okay, we're going to do the camera first. We're not too bothered with making things neat or hiding wires at the moment because I'm going to redo parts of this, especially the motor wires, once I know it works. Just had a mug of coffee. Now, where is the handy soldering guide for the member stack? I love these things. It's such a simple touch. It costs them almost nothing, but it makes wiring up so much easier. And you don't need to have your phone or a laptop open to check the diagram. Just freshening up the solder. A bit like that. So this is one of the Matek MCU buzzers. These ones are super loud, but they need a constant 5 volt on ground Buzz negative is actually a switched ground. Like that. And then it can go, where did I say, there? There we go. Just there. Yeah, that mug of coffee probably wasn't a great idea just before starting this. Videos at the bottom. Okay, just working out where we're going to put everything. I've realised that of course this board does actually have I2C, so we could actually connect the magnetometer just because it's there. So we can have I2C data and clock here, along with 5 volts and ground, and then TX3, RX3 for the GPS. And then over here we have TX6, we can use that for the VTX, and we have ground and VCC. Okay, GPS wiring is going to be very messy because I can't be bothered to extend all these wires again in the future, so I'm going to leave them how long they are right now. And obviously I didn't have the right colour wires to extend it last time because some of them are extended in different colours. Now the only pad I've got left is SCL I2C clock. So hopefully the grey wire that becomes a blue wire is I2C clock on the diagram. A huge mess now, but we have our GPS and magnetometer connected. Okay, so we'll have GPS down one side, VTX down the other side, meeting at the back. What's left? We don't have the receiver. It would be nice to replace all my receivers with OTA ones, but that would cost lots of money, and these ones still work fine. And this probably already has the right firmware on it, but we have got S-bus, we have got ground, and we've got 2 grounds, and we've got 5 volts. There we go. Okay, I tidied things up a bit, and it's not so bad for a temporary setup anymore. So VTX comes down this side, GPS and receiver go down the back. I think I'm actually going to print a little mount to have the 868 mag antenna at the back, and then GPS obviously plugs in when the tail is actually attached. Yeah, it's coming along.